Okay, I'm waiting for
Hello, everybody. 'Cause you're
people.
live right now.
Okay.
Good night. Hi, welcome to Daddy Paul's Lecture.
Okay.
Say it.
Hello everyone. Good morning. I live for Daddy Fall live stream. I using for the channel. That's my first time. I waiting for the people who watching. Oh, to people watching. 27 watching. My outfit for today is like Korean. So I would like to show you. Like wow, good morning, Sir China D. Thank you so much for your gift. Okay. 79 watching people. That's my first time for live stream. I hope later comfortable. I need more practice. Jeep, good morning. Oh, global grid. Global grid. GC, hello, good morning. And Jan, oh, Randy Godry, good morning. Thank you for watching. And now Daddy Paul is here. Thank you, Daddy Paul. So, guys, bye-bye. Thank you for watching. I need more practice.
Hey, we got me on live for a change. She did the opening act. She's busy opening up all of her presents. Let's see what we got here. Well, it's awesome to be back. I gotta tell you. I'll do a video about about the trip home. What a freaking cluster. So I hate to do, what do you call it? Informational videos or advice videos, but I'm going to step out of my comfort zone and I'm going to do a little, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I never do. That's just not my thing. I'm going to tell you what I did and what went right, which was mostly everything, and what went really wrong. So it was an arduous trip at best. No, actually, that's wrong. It was a great trip. I met so many phenomenal people. I feel like I'm forever indebted to them. And just the generosity and the kindness of strangers, if you will. And I guess I wasn't a stranger to them, but they were a stranger to me. And my big bad was I kept forgetting everybody's name. I got Steve confused with China Dave. And I got another guy named Philip. I just called him Doug all night. And very nice that he came up and goes, you know, my name's not Doug. My buddy Tim, I didn't forget his name. He drove me all around while I was in Vegas. And Steve was awesome. He drove me from Palm Desert all the way to Las Vegas. And then a week later, drove all the way to Vegas, back to Palm Desert, and then 2 hours more to his place. And you know what? For me, the trip went by like nothing because we were just engrossed in conversation. And we told each other a couple of secrets that'll stay between us. But it was fun to bond with another guy like that. And the same thing with Tim. And I intend to contact a number of people once I get settled in. I'm still pretty tired from the trip. But that being said, there's about 30 or 40 people I need to contact personally. And one gentleman who's got this great disaster story about his girlfriend. And he doesn't want to be on camera and he doesn't want his name to be out there, which is fine. But I'm going to tell his story. And I'm going to have to call him and take notes and to get all these details and times and references together. So we had China Dave, Steve, and Tim. We're all very, very gracious. so many other guys that showed up. I had a little shindig, if you will, at Cactus Jack's in Palm Desert. And there were people that drove in from Arizona, beautiful couple that came in from Arizona, San Diego. Jeffrey, who was in a video with me, we just did as a gag. 2 people unsubscribed from. I guess we hit a nerve or something in somebody, but he wanted to see how you do a video, and so he can't believe how absolutely what a simpleton I am. I just put my camera up and start talking, and he goes, "I can't get over this," and he loves it though. He loves the impromptu. He loves the improv, and the fact that it's not scripted and all that kind of stuff. So. Anyway, it's good to be at home. The last 72 hours have been nonstop grind of traveling, and that's the worst part of the trip is just the grind of travel and the hoops that you guys have got to go through to get through on COVID and all the crap you got to do. Again, I'm not going to belabor it here. I just want to say hi to everybody and let them know how much I appreciated meeting them and how much I appreciated those that reached out and some of the extremes that they went to just to hang out for a couple of 3 hours. Jeffrey flew from LAX into Vegas on his way to somewhere else. He took a side trip, and we just hung out for 4 hours. And there are just so many people that gathered. In the Palm Desert deal, I think 25 or 30 people showed up, and all walks of life. And the coolest thing about all of that was not only did I get an opportunity to meet people face to face and chat, everybody got along in the group. It was just a bunch of like-minded people. And hopefully everybody, not everybody, but I imagine the vast majority of folks were able to exchange their information and make new friendships and new connections. And that was the most gratifying part of it. Even though they came to meet me, they ended up meeting people a lot cooler than I am. Probably those are the 2 unsubscribers, maybe. I don't know. And what else is going on? I'll get to the comments in a second. You know me, I got to ramble. And in Vegas, the same thing happened on a smaller scale. I think we had about 15 people there, maybe 10, 15, something like that. And just the generosity of people. And it was awesome because I had the opportunity to really just sit down with a few guys and just hear their story for a change instead of them listening to mine. And those stories were really cool. And I was really taken aback by how many guys were in the process of trying to bring their Filipina to America. And they don't want to do me. They don't want to do what I did. They don't want to go to the Philippines and retire. They don't really want anything to do with the Philippines. They've been here. They've met the girl. They want to get married and they want to continue their life in America. A lot of young guys still working. But I had one gentleman that has no intention of going to the Philippines. This is the guy, Philip, that I call Doug. And he's a famous singer in Las Vegas. He was 17 years on the Strip of the same show, Folies Bergère, if I'm saying that right. He opened that show and closed it. And he's worked with all these great people in the music industry. And the only reason he follows me is he has no interest in going to the Philippines. He has no interest in me. He's happily married. And I just can't get over the fact that you, at your age, just picked up and left. It's 5 years ago, at the age of 62, he said, well, I've had enough of this. This is my story. And I just went halfway around the world and didn't know a soul. All right, so I got a million comments going here. How'd you like Baby May's opening? Pretty good, huh? She looks pretty sassy. I'll tell you what. She's wearing I got her this really stylish outfit, I think. And there's my 5x5. Thank you, brother. Oh my goodness. Hey Tom, what's happening? Enoch, what's going on, bro? Good evening from the U.S. All right. Let's see here. Oh, we just did that. Sorry. Thank you for the thumbs up, Brad. Here's Global Greg. That's Baby May. That's right. Friggin' Baby May. Poor Baby May. I had so much trouble. Here's another disclaimer, kids. I have been really, really reticent. Not lazy, but unable to answer comments all week long on videos, a lot of messenger stuff. I just missed emails. They're probably 4 days old. And the reason why, I was on go from the minute I got off the plane to the minute I got back on the plane. And so I was talking to so many guys at so many different times about so many different things. Not only could I not remember their name, but I have comments that are a week old that I'll never get to. And so I'm going to do a video. I'm going to do a number of videos about the trip, and they're not going to be those whiz bang popular videos that, goes viral. I've had a few of those, and those are always cool to have, and those are very gratifying. But I kind of feel like I owe it to people to go out of my comfort zone and get into the hardware, if you will, of traveling. And I'll give some advice during that video. And then, of course, I'm going to do one with Baby May. I think that might be the first one. And then I've just got some thoughts about America and what I observed over there compared to the Philippines. So those are like 3 videos that I've got in my head. Yeah, good old Miss May. I'm so far behind. This is Baby May's stage. She's cute. Her little, your new little pants I bought her, huh? My, how you have changed. How's that? I'm not nearly as red or as tan as I used to be. That's the first thing May noticed. Yeah, good morning, Baby May. And it is a nice outfit. Thank you. I bought that. Hey, Bobby, what's going on, man? I'm going to just take my... Good morning, Mark. I am going to just take my time and go through all the comments for once and change. And then I'm going to toss May's ass on the scooter. Yes, the gay-looking one. And we're going to go into town for some supplies. And little May, I told her, I did text her. I had to walk to a coffee shop because my hotel in Cebu on the last night did not have any internet connection from Odette. And so I told her I'm going to try and catch the 10 o'clock bus. And I did catch the 10 o'clock bus. I had a great driver from the hotel. I can't speak highly enough about the staff at the Sebastian, but I can't really recommend the Sebastian because on my last night when I really needed to rest up for the trip, guess what? We had a karaoke party right outside my hotel room till midnight. And then I had forgotten to turn off the alarm on my phone that I'd set the night before to get up at 3:30 in the morning because I was being driven. And it went off. And then I went back to sleep, turned it off. I went back to sleep. And at 4:30, the church bell started going. So welcome back to the Philippines, Paul. I got about 3.5 hours of sleep. And I had to get down to the bus station. Yeah, it was a drill. But the guy that drove me was from the hotel. And I said, dude, you need to just get me to that bus and hook things up. And he did. Took care of the luggage. I had 3 big-ass pieces of luggage. I went with a backpack and a small carry-on, and I came back with these monster suitcases that actually one was my father's. He donated to me. I don't think he's going to be doing any traveling. And my sister's not going to be doing any traveling, so she gave me hers. So I didn't have to buy them. But I did manage to spend more than double of what I thought the budget was going to be. I managed to go completely apeshit. May did a good job. Yeah, she is the cutest little thing. So great to come back to May. And not that I didn't enjoy my time. I saw my father, I saw my sister, I called my nephew, his wife. I saw my kids. And what else can you ask for, right? Mission accomplished. Thank you very much. It's good to be back. It's good to be home, you know. Oh, yeah. Good morning, May. And she ran outside after her debut. Thank you very much, Joe. It's great to be here. I did. I had a great trip. I mean, I did a video called Good Tired, and I was worn out when I did that video. I was just dead tired. But I said, you know what? This is a good tired. There's just those good tires. My last 3 days coming home, bad tired. Because as usual with me, there were plenty of snafus and problems and mistakes that I made. She looks a lot better than you. I don't think so. If you didn't think that, I'd be worried about you, JC. Hey, Randy, what's happening, Dad? Thank you very much, Rusty. Yeah, I'll get her back in here. She went outside. You know what she's doing? She's taking a bunch of friggin' selfies in her new outfit. I got her a sweater that goes along with it. I don't think she's that wild about, but she won't. She's too polite to say. Bring back Baby May. I will. We'll end it up on Baby May. Yeah, all is good. I've got some great videos planned with her, and I've discovered, guys, how integral she's become to my channel. I was like a fish out of water, and just bouncing ideas off of her, or she's a great little camera person. She's she's learned the art of thumbnails, if you will. And so if I'm having her take a picture of me, she knows exactly what to do because we've practiced it and tried it and experimented. And we just have fun drilling it down to what we like and we know is good. And I couldn't make that happen with anybody else. So not that I tried that much because I didn't have any videos. But the one with my father is going to have to be my all-time favorite video of all times. And maybe you got a chance to see it, maybe you didn't. But I went there because it sounded like he was going to possibly pass. 96 years old and turning 97 March 3rd. And I'm proud to tell you that I attended his 97th birthday party after he recovered from COVID. And that's why my sister had contacted me. She goes, listen, I don't want to be a negative Nancy, and I'm not trying to be, rain on your parade or anything. She said, but if you can make it back here, I think it would be a good idea. And she was right. She was a perfect little hostess. I stayed at her house and slept on the couch, and she did everything she could to make me comfortable. And then I tried to help her in a little bit ways that I could. Like she has to use a walker. She had a hip surgery that went south. So I was able to help her a little bit with driving her around and running some stuff that we take for granted with two good legs. She can't do. So it was my pleasure to do that for her. Good morning, Bill. Thank you so much, Chuck. Yeah, that was the highlight. I mean, as much as I love you guys, and I loved meeting up with everybody, and I just adored each and every one of your stories. You guys are awesome. And you're also goddamn funny. And I was just shocked at how many guys are not even going to the Philippines. They've either been there, but they really want to stay in America, and they've still got careers to finish, and but they're there for the woman. Do you have insurance for the Philippines? Questions. Yeah, that's any one of them. Just Google. That's what I did. I got my packet of stuff. I can tell you who I use, but I won't recommend them. What I did learn was I will give you 2 tips right here, right now, because there might be some of you watching that you're going to fly out in 2 days. I don't know. I want to do a video, though, that, as I said before, and here I go repeating myself, that deals with the nuts and bolts of what I did right and what I did wrong. So you need to have this insurance policy. I paid $50, And again, I'll ask May to bring the thing over when she comes in from taking pictures of herself. But I did my throwaway ticket for 2 weeks into the trip. And what I learned was I could buy the insurance for 2 weeks. And that's exactly what I did. And so there's one little money saver right there. In other words, I was always thinking I needed to get a 30-day policy, and you don't. I was leaving out, what the hell day is it? Today's the 26th, so I was leaving out on the 25th or 24th. 24th. And so I think it was April 6th or something like that I set my throwaway ticket, and I got that via myonwardticket.com after I got scammed by another company that looked just like them. I fell for all kinds of tricks. I spent probably $200 needlessly on shit that I didn't need. I booked my hotel room on the wrong date because I forgot to move forward. A little bit of Paul McGill stuff, no one's fault but my own. And so the insurance, you can just Google insurance, travel to the Philippines. It'll give you a million selections. And so that would be my tip is book your throwaway ticket, use myonwardticket.com, and make sure you don't fall. The one that I fell for, they ended up selling me 2 tickets at $9 a piece. When the bill came in, if you will, it says My Onward Ticket Con, C-O-N. They're shoving it in your face that they conned you out of $18. And so good on them. I guess everybody needs a scam. So that's that. The other real quick thing is I had it in my head that you needed to have a 24-hour window between taking the test and getting on your plane. And then somebody somewhere, I don't want to name them because I can't, but I heard more than one say they've relaxed that. In other words, they understand how complicated it is to get it perfectly by the hour. And so if you are flying out on Wednesday and your COVID test is dated Tuesday, they're calling that 24 hours. They're relaxing. And sure enough, on my way out of the country 3 weeks ago now, I stopped at the ferry. My friend Ed Shearer, who's another rock star, he drove me to Cebu because he was going there anyway. And the timing worked out perfectly. And of course, I was nervous about passing the test because I don't know if I'm going to be positive or not. Let's get a false positive or something. And so I was snorting rubbing alcohol about 15 minutes before they jabbed me up the nose. And it came back negative. And that was at 7:30 in the morning, maybe. We got to the ferry. And then we took the drive, and I spent the night, and I went to the airport the next day. And my flight wasn't until 3 o'clock. So it wasn't from 7:30 in the morning to 7:30 in the morning. It was, 6 hours later, approximately, 5.5 hours later. And when I checked in at Philippine Airlines, she took my test results and looked at it and said, "Excuse me," and walked away. And I said, "Here we go." Let the games begin. And so she came back and just started typing. She obviously went and talked to a manager or a supervisor, and I didn't know what for. And I didn't ask because she just went back to typing. And I thought, you know what? The last thing I want to do is interrupt somebody that looks like they're moving forward on getting me out of here. And sure enough, 10 minutes later, she wanted to see something else, and I produced it. And then she said, "Here's your boarding pass." And I "Thank you very much." And I walked away. Never quiz her about what she was looking into. I felt, let sleeping dogs lie. Why do I want to, she might have a change of heart. Okay, so that was a day and a day. The day before I got tested, but it was well past 24 hours. Yesterday, day before yesterday. See, time is like really weird when you travel international. Day before yesterday, I'm at the counter at LAX, and I knew I had a prick the minute I looked at it. And I've had this guy before, not this particular guy, but his type. And the first thing he asked me was, he looked at my throwaway ticket, and he said, and I had a ticket booked from Cebu to Singapore. And it was, like I said, 2 weeks into the trip. That was what I put up. And he said, when are you going to go back to America from Singapore? Now, I had a guy 5 years ago ask me almost the same thing. And it doesn't matter what happens when I get to Singapore. And I looked at him and I said, I'm not leaving Singapore. I don't know. I'll stay in Singapore as long as I like. And I might go back to America, but I highly doubt it. I'll probably go somewhere else. I was giving him a little shit because I knew I was right. And so giving him a little shit probably wasn't the best thing to do. Because now he was on a mission to give me some. So he checked with the supervisor. She's like, yeah, it's fine. You don't need to know what he's doing after he leaves the country. So he put his tail between his legs. We came along, we worked, we did one health pass, the insurance, all that's moving slightly. We're moving right along. And before he asked me about the COVID thing, which you'd think would be the first thing, he saw my vaccination card. We got into it once again about the luggage, because I now had 4 pieces of luggage, and I'm allowed to check 2 and have a carry-on and a personal. And so we got into the thing about the personal. He goes, no, you have to check that other one. You can only take 1 item on the plane. And I got the feeling this guy's new. And I said, sir, I respect you, and I know you're doing your job. I tried to butter this guy up a little bit. Didn't work. And he said, no, you can't. You can take 1. That's it. You're going to have to pay for and check the other one. I said, good enough. Take it and let me know how much. I said, okay. And so he puts the thing back there. He never did tell me how much. And then what does he do? He looks at my COVID test, and it was my flight's at noon. I'm at the airport at 9 o'clock in the morning, I think it was. Yeah, 9:30. And my test was 25 hours old. I took it at approximately 11 o'clock the day before. And he says, your test is expired. I said, they're not counting hours anymore. I said, I flew in from the Philippines, and it wasn't by the hour. And I'm here. It's 9:30. It's 10 o'clock, call it, 10:30. We went to this conversation. And I'm good to go. I'll be getting on a plane in an hour after that. He goes, yeah, that's what they do. It's got to be, if your flight's at noon, which it was, your test can't be more than 24 hours. You're going to have to go downstairs and test. And I said, really? I said, well, what if I miss my plane going downstairs jacking around? He says, no, hold all your stuff here. You just come back. But you need to get to go down to the laboratory and test. So I said, where is it? How long is it going to take? Oh, it'll take 20 minutes. Okay. So I left all my shit there and went down to the testing center and had to download an app and fill out their hokey dokey shit and pay them $80. Oh, and the COVID test, by the way, in Palm Desert was $129. I thought Joe Biden made them free for everybody. I'm not understanding this test thing. Anyway, the charges, the whole new industry has managed to pop up. It's like Rahm Emanuel said, never let any good crisis go to waste. And so there's definitely a buck being made off of COVID now. But I had this misconception that COVID testing was free and vaccinations were free and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't find that to be true in America. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. I went downstairs, signed up with their hokey pokey thing, paid my $80, got tested, and I said, how long is this going to take? She goes, it could take up to an hour. I said, well, what, wait here? She goes, no, we'll email you. It's like, thank God I got a T-Mobile card while I was in the States, so I've got internet. And so I just slumped back upstairs and sat down and said, you know what, if I miss this flight because this prick lied to me, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get my ass back into another hotel and wait it out for another flight. So exactly what's gonna happen. My cost is gonna triple instead of double. So what do you know? I got the result. It's negative, of course. Show it to the guy. And you know what? It was a different guy. A totally different guy. The guy that was giving me heat, he was gone. And this new guy was just coming on. And I thought it was the same guy. Yes, they looked alike. They're both Filipinos. And they're both black hair. They're both young. They're both handsome. What the hell am I going to do? You know, I'm old. And I'm frustrated. And I'm tired. And I'm a little hyper. So he goes, what are you talking about, man? He goes, I just got here. I said, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were the other guy. And so I showed him my test. And he goes, okay, yeah, you're cool. And I said, he goes, what about this luggage back here? I said, well, I'm confused. I said, I flew in checking 2 bags, which is a lie because I came in with no baggage. But I had my personal and I had my carry-on. He goes, yeah, that's the way it works. I said, so can I have my carry-on back? He goes, sure. And the good news is one of my bags weighed a lot more than 55 pounds. And I was planning on paying whatever they charge for overweight, but it had all the gifts and stuff in it for May and myself and stuff, clothes I bought and things I brought back for people. And that got lost in the confusion. He just put it on the friggin' conveyor belt. Gave me my boarding pass. I hang out. I've got a little time to kill. That's when I do my, what did I buy? Oh, I booked my hotel room on the wrong date. I kept forgetting I was going to be a day ahead when I got to the Philippines. So I paid for a hotel room for no reason. And then when I showed up there, he showed me my mistake. But they gave me a discount on the room at the Sebastian. And so, but before I get on the plane, just as everything is cool and groovy, I give her my boarding pass and I walk up to these little plastic gates that you go through and it won't let me in. And very curtly, the woman looked at me and said, you're going to have to go to that tower over there. I said, for what? She says, it's not, the computer's not accepting your boarding pass. I was moments, inches, literally inches away from getting on the freaking plane, and my boarding class has a problem. I thought, what did that guy do? So I go over to the tower, and I give him the boarding pass, and I said, apparently there's a problem with my boarding pass. I was waiting for her to say, yeah, we found this wrong or that wrong or whatever. And she said, oh, well, your seat's been reassigned. You're now further forward, how she phrased it. And so I said, oh, okay. And I'm on an aisle where before I was in the middle. So to me, that was an improvement. And so I got on the plane, and then I found out my big improvement, parked my ass right next to a mother with her 2-year-old screaming child. Right in my ear. 15 hours. It was like 14 hours, 13 hours, 12 hours, 11 hours. I'll try to read my book. I'll find if the baby went to sleep. And so anyway, it's one of those deals, guys. I was so up for just freaking being on the plane, heading home after a successful trip. I got to tell you, the last 72 hours were traveling hell, but I'll do a video about that in detail. So the point of this whole extravaganza, rambling nonsense is, if you guys are coming out here, I don't care what you hear on YouTube, which is what this is. If your flight is at noon. Go get tested at noon or 1 minute after the day before on your rapid test. Your flight is at 3. Go get tested at 3. I could easily have done 12. I did it at 11 something or 10 something. And so I was an hour off and had to go downstairs and pay more money and go through. And, it was just the hypertension that starts to set in with all these setbacks. And, and one more thing about the boarding pass. I know I'm going on forever. I went through the scan. I went through immigration. Everything was copacetic. And in fact, one guy was great because he goes, you got to stand and put your hands up while they x-ray you or whatever. And he says, you have anything in your pockets? I said, no. He goes, well, we'll see. And I thought that was a great line. And I was laughing. I was standing there. I said, that's an awesome line to say to somebody. Yeah, we'll see. And he goes, dude, you're going to have to stand still. I said, well, quit being so funny. So got through that. I was having a good time now. And at the last stop to go to baggage claim, he said, I need to see your boarding pass. I said, I don't have it. I left it on the plane. I didn't know I need my boarding pass. Boarding pass is for getting on, not getting off. And he goes, well, what seat were you in? And believe it or not, I remembered 52C. And he goes, can I see your ID? Paul McGill. Okay, man. We'll get your shit. So hang on to your boarding pass when you get off the plane because they're going to ask you about that. And there's no forewarning about it at all. And it doesn't make sense to me. I guess they just want to know that you're the guy that was sitting in a certain seat. All this verification. But it's a little over the top. After you've been 3 or 4 checkpoints, or not checkpoints, but, x-rays and questions and passports and scans and interrogations, you'd think they'd let you just go get your luggage and go. But no, you got to get through the last gatekeeper. All right. Nashville, Tennessee is in the house. Probably not any longer after all that. I think a lot of us would like to know what you did on information. Oh, well, I gave you a bunch of it, but I didn't give you nearly any of it. That's just a piece of it. So I am going to get out of my comfort zone because here's the problem. Whatever I talk about tomorrow will be outdated the next day. It will change. I happen to know that there is a vlogger out there that I think did something very irresponsible and could have done the same video, but should have opened up with the line I just used. This video is good for the next 1 hour. Do not take my word for it. See, this is why I don't like to give advice or information because you can really screw somebody up. And the person didn't do that. They made a video. Hey, the Philippines is open. Vaccinated, non-vaccinated, you're welcome. That was February 10th. Oh, that video came up quick. And I watched the first part of it and I thought, I don't know about this. The Philippines is kinky. And sure enough, February 12th, they changed it. They took away the non-vax part and said you had to be vaccinated. I had a guy message me right after, like on the 13th. And he said, you know what? I was watching your fellow vlogger. And they told me to come on in because I'm not vaxxed. I'm an anti-vaxxer. I'm not going to take the vaccine. And I bought a friggin' ticket. And it's non-refundable. And I'm out about $1,900. So always be careful about knuckleheads like me that give advice and information. And if they give you the disclaimer up front, be careful, verify, double check. I'm telling you what's happening right now. I can promise you tomorrow or March 1st or March 15th, it's going to change. All right, enough of that rant. Good morning, Randy. I did make it back to land at Walmart. I spent a lot of money at Walmart too. Back safe in the Philippines. That's safe, the operative words. Glad you're back. What was it like saying goodbye to your dad? Bittersweet, man. I mean, I honestly thought I was walking into a funeral. And I only got a chance to videotape him once. I could have videotaped him the last day because he was totally 100%. But the day, and I didn't bring a tripod or microphones, and I was running out of time anyway because he was like one of 15 things I needed to do that day. And, but I think I'm going to be going down there for his 100th birthday, to be honest with you. But he just has these days where his blood sugar gets low and he had to lay down in bed while we talked. Another day, God love him. I got all this. I videotaped every conversation. And the video's terrible because it's got sunlight. I didn't set up the camera. I just wanted to record the conversation for me. And he told me some stuff that I'll expose in another video that's really funny. And I got a lot of ideas for videos, so watch out. The old dog's back. And but it was bittersweet because I was leaving. He really enjoyed seeing me. He was fully aware of the aggravation that I went through to get there, and he knew it was for him. And so I think I saw him. Well, I never saw him while I was in Vegas, but I saw him just about every day for at least an hour or so. And I had to kind of like keep the conversation down to about 2 hours tops because it'd get tired. And one time it was really cute because we were talking and he was telling me this really funny story. And then he stopped right in the middle of it. And he goes, "What were we talking about?" Because the dementia's comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes. And he got all my kids confused as to who's who. And that's, just goes with the territory. And I didn't let it bother me. Why would it? He's just a human being. Boy, I'll tell you what, we are chocolated up. I went out and bought, like an idiot, I went out and bought May a bunch of candy because I knew she wanted, as a surprise. And then I got loaded down with candy from subscribers for her. Half my subscribers want to date baby May. They're wooing her. Hey, Paul, did you get the antigen test or the PCR? Can you tell us how immigration was? I'm from Tokyo. Yeah, I just finished off on a big, long tangent about that. So I guess I'm just giving the comments late, as usual. Thank you, Clark. It's good to be back, I'll tell you what. Seemed like a quick trip. I don't know. It was 20 days. And it was action-packed. Well, thank you very much, Leah. How you doing? Yeah, I know. That's what I said. I said, if you don't have a sense of humor, this is my neighbor. That's my neighbor, Leah. Say hi to Gary, Gracie, Bliss. Yeah, that's what I said. I said, if you can't take a joke or get along with a little tongue-in-cheek humor, then you best move on. Thank you so much. There's my hero. Right there. There's Ed Sheeran. He's the man, the myth, the legend that took me down to Cebu in his car. Saved me a bus ride, saved me all kinds of aggravation, took me to get my test. What a rock star Ed Sheeran is. You guys all were. I mean, Ed drove me to Cebu. Wouldn't let me buy him gas or nothing. Tim drove me all around Las Vegas. Steve drove me from Palm Desert to Las Vegas. And China Dave drove me from Palm Desert to the airport and back. And another trip. So, and none of these people live close. They went except for Ed, he's my neighbor. But all these people in America that drove me around, they weren't close to where I was. Tim was the closest. He was about 20 minutes away from the hotel. But when I refer to Steve and China Dave, these guys had to make a trip just to pick me up, like 2 hours worth each way, just to get back home. And that's the kind of guys they are. And I met other guys that said, hey, if you need a ride, just give me a call. I don't mind doing it. So the outpouring of good people was really, 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 it was very touching. I mean, it brings a tear to my eye, honest. You know, it restores your faith in humanity after all the nonsense you see on TV. Can't believe you're back already. Your trip just flew by, looking good. May was happy to have you back home. That's true, Denise. She is thrilled. And I'm thrilled to be back with her. Poor girl. I told her I'd be getting in about 6. She got to the bus station at 1. She waited 5 hours. And then she hired a car to bring us back, which was a very smart move. Thank you very much, Danny. Yeah, I figured that today would be the day. I can't tell you how rested I am, having just been here last night. I'm back to my old creature habits. I went to sleep at 9 o'clock, and I was up at 5 o'clock, and I felt great. I didn't realize how hard our mattress is after having slept on my sister's soft couch, and then, of course, the hotel mattress. I think I'm going to have to spoil us with a new mattress. Oh, Gaylord took it like a champ, but it killed me. I was behind the whole time. It was really, really hard in the States. I was a day ahead in my head all the time. And that lasted pretty much the whole trip. And then when I got back here today, I can't believe it's Saturday. I keep thinking it's Friday. I fell back into American time. So it takes 4 or 5 days, I guess, for my body to acclimate. Is it Baby May or Jenny from Blackpink? I don't know who Blackpink is, but I'm thinking that's a compliment. Ladies and germs, here we are. Linda, thank you much. For Riza's kids, God bless. Thank you very much, Linda. You always take care of Riza. I am, China. I'm recovering. And May really likes her little coin that you gave her. That was the first gift I gave her. No, I don't know how to speak. May can do it. Glad to see you get to spend time with Dad. That was the best part, Canine. That was the whole mission accomplished. Yes. Which airline did you fly back on? I flew there and back on Philippines Airlines. And I can't talk worse about them. I can't give them a shittier review. I do not like Philippine Airlines. But you kind of pinned in. How you doing, Mr. Duct Taper? Paul, your dad's video was cool. Your trip had to be great, but you must be worn out. You got that right, Don. You just nailed it. Thank you very much. That is a very true statement. America very good to me. Yes, well, America should be good to you. You're born privileged. I said, my, how you've changed because Baby May was sitting on it first. Okay, I get it. Thank you very much. Everything did go well. I mean, I have no room to complain, even though the last 72 hours were mind benders. I spent 19 hours in the car Sunday to go visit my son who's in prison. It took 7.5 hours to get there. I had a 4-hour visit. I hadn't seen him in 5 years. I'm happy to tell you that he's in good shape and just waiting out his time. And he's utilizing the time that he's not doing the time. He's utilizing the time. It took him a few years to figure that out, but he finally did. And so he's healthy. He's just missing out on some of the prime years of his life, which is a shame. And the reason I tell people about the inadequacies of myself and the failings even of my kids is because it's, number one, it's the truth. And if you listen to my father's video, he preaches that pretty good. He preaches to be an optimist, which I consider myself to be. And he says, just tell the truth. Just tell the truth. He's been pounding that into me. And he's right. And I try to abide by that every day. And I try to avoid conflict when possible. Confrontation. It's a waste of time. That's why I don't argue politics. I don't argue about the vaccine. In fact, I saw a cute meme the other day on Facebook. The guy said, "Well, I guess I can quit being an expert on the vaccine and now become an expert on Russia and Ukraine." He has a whole new topic that he gets to pontificate about. Oh my goodness! I am glad too, and I was going to say that I couldn't have bought better weather. Um, I couldn't have bought better weather. It was gloriously nice outside, just beautiful. 70 degrees and balmy, both places. Got a little cool on the trip to Arizona. But anyway, the reason I talk about my kids and all the inadequacies and all that kind of stuff is it never fails. After I do that, somebody writes me and they're in the same friggin' boat and they felt like they were alone in that boat. And that's a big ocean to be in when you're feeling alone and you have something that's um, worrisome, like a child that's gone off onto addiction or got himself sent to prison. Um, and it's good to know that there's other people out there and in the exact same boat. So I've had so many guys write to me over the years that have said, "I just love your transparency, bro, because I got the same thing." And I had a lot of private conversations with guys during my trip when I had the opportunity to just sit down and listen to their story. And they told me stuff that they didn't have an outlet for, but they felt safe with me. So that's super gratifying. You just try to be available for people, Quit judging. Um, Somebody else's actions doesn't define you. Hey, there he is. Long time no talkie. Yeah, let's get coffee. I'm going to go today, I think, after this and go down to Tom Tom's because, man, I need to get some supplies. And I'd like to do an hour at Tom Tom's, getting some coffee, get back to my routine. And I got to tell you, it was awesome being here and not having to do anything. Welcome back, dog. Did you send yourself a big? I did not. No matter what we do, Dean manages to get in on it. I did not send a ballot buy-in box. Hindsight being 2020, probably been a good idea to do so. But one thing is, especially with all these hoops you got to go through, which I'm confident will be completely eliminated in 2 years, is I'm going to try to make a year and a half, 2 years trip back to the States, especially while my father's alive, and just make that happen. And taking May, people kept saying, "Why didn't you take May?" Show me how, and I will. I mean, it's a fiance visa is your best shot, and that takes forever. And it's just not like you can get on a plane and come over. I had to explain that to my sister. Filipinos are on the list, man, because they're famous for getting there and not getting back on the plane. They say, "Oh, I like this." They get a job or they get a guy or whatever or both, and they just shine it on. They overstay. Thank you very much, Charlie. Good to see you're back, Vintage Dog, and looking happy. I am happy. Thank you. What was immigration like in Manila coming back? Immigration was cool. It was Philippine Airlines. It was the bricks. I'll be in Macau on the coast, I'm saying, just south of Dumaguete, April 25th. Cool. Give me a holler. We'll get some whatever you want. No, actually, every time I ate with subscribers, they picked up the check. Go figure. They wouldn't let me spend any money. One gentleman picked up the check for the entire table. Just the generosity was amazing. What cost me was a lot of I bought a lot of stuff. I bought too much stuff. I bought some of the wrong things. No refunds. Ton of money in gas. Not with my subscribers, though. They wouldn't let me fill their tank up. They wouldn't let me do anything except maybe buy them a coffee at AM, PM. And that was rare. I'm not even sure I did that. I think I tried to, and I couldn't. But I spent a lot of money on gas going to Arizona in a rental car. That was about a nickel the whole round trip. And then the gas in my sister's car, of course, because I was driving it. So I don't know. Gasoline. I'll tell you what the gasoline story is. Arizona, it was $4.50 average. You could find it for $4.50. In Las Vegas, you could find it for $5 and change. Call it $5.25. And in Palm Desert, it was a nice $6. California's got the highest gas prices. Hey, Paul, I'm getting here late. Did Baby May's clothes fit? They did. There's Tim. He went shopping with me. Did she like? Looking forward to hearing it. She was wearing them this morning. In fact, Tim, if you rewind this when it's done, she opened the show and she showed off one of her outfits that you and I picked out for her. There's Tim. There's my rock star driver in Las Vegas. Yes, I'm back. Back to the land of chickens and karaoke. We received our education in the cities and the nation of me and Paul. So when you get older, you're going to resume the channel Vintage Dog New Trip. Oh, rename the channel. Yeah. How about Elderly Dog? That's what I classified as. Glad to see that May didn't change the house around and change your drapes out. Looks like, you know what? I was blown away. I honestly was, because I ate like a pig. I ate In-N-Out Burger, I think 3 times with a chocolate shake. I had hamburgers up the gazoo. I had a pastrami sandwich. I had steak and eggs, and I ate the toast, and I ate the potatoes for breakfast. They had that special going on. What else did I eat? The thing is other than the chocolate shakes, I had a piece of cheesecake. So I only drank one night, and that was St. Patrick's night. I had some White Russians. I got all tuned up and called May. She was laughing at me because I had one eye open while I was talking to her. It's the first time I've been drunk in 5 years. I only had to walk from the casino to the hotel room, so I thought I was in pretty good shape. And it was St. Patrick's Day, and I'm Irish, so what the hell. Glad to see you made it safe. Yeah, to and from. Thank you, George. I bought a house in Germany. My father brothers flew over to help me renovate it. Nice family reunion. We poured concrete the whole day. Well, good on you. Like your videos. Thank you, sir. Up all here in Deval, cloudy, cool morning with a breeze. No need for a fan. Same here. Got no fan on, no nothing. Thank you very much, Albert. Yeah. I wish I could have done more with them. I did a lot, but they're not for publication because they're just not aesthetically good. As far as I just turned the camera on wherever I was and recorded it. Did you get the chicken from It Big Adventure? The chicken came home. Gaylord's home. Did you experience sticker shock at the cost? I did. Oh, dude, that's where I would spend so much money, was on little stuff like gas. Well, gasoline's not a small thing. And the trip to Arizona was far more expensive than I thought. The hotel room was quadruple what I normally pay. And of course, I went during March Madness. Every room in Vegas was booked. And what I used to pay $39 for was $250 a night. And the Mirage, or the Bellagio rather, was going from $600 to the Universe. $600, $700, $800 at the Bellagio per night. I don't know how people spend it, but they do. They came for March Madness and St. Patrick's Day. So what I'll do next time is I'm going to go to both places in the heat of summer when nobody is anywhere. And I like that. I can deal with the heat. I grew up in it. So 115 degrees out in the desert. I hate to say it, but it's a dry heat. And you just have to turn the car on 15 minutes before you get in it so the air con can cool it down. And then you got to chase air conditioner. That's not hard to do. And the same thing for Vegas. And the next trip will probably be where I rent a car so I can go one day and just blast around with the ballot buy-in box and shopping and all that kind of stuff. And then I want us to spend more quality time with people one-on-one. So I'll probably just have a car for one day, and then I'll have a different location. I'm not going to go back to Ellis Island. I can't give that a great review. That's where I stayed. Um, I can get into those details on the video about the trip. What did you miss most while you were back in the States? Um, the attitudes. I was kind of spoiled, though. I don't feel like I got a real vibe because I was around people that were happy to see me and knew me, and we all were having a great time. So it wasn't like I got to even spend an average day in America. And I can tell you, though, that people in America, I guess the thing that I noticed the most was the stress on their face. Nobody was outwardly hostile except for one lady at the market that chewed me out because I did something wrong on the self checkout. So she had to, I thought, what are you doing in customer service? It's about the last thing you're delivering here. You should be a customer bad attitude. But I ran into a couple of snarky people. I just saw people being very disinterested, especially behind the clerks, if you will, the retail clerks. Um, Depends on where you go. At In-N-Out Burger, for example, they are trained. They always have been, and they pay them good money. They're always on it, and they're very customer orientated. But then I would go into Walmart or CVS or whatever, and I just saw the people were just wishing they weren't there. That was what I saw. I saw it on the man on the street walking by, and I could tell that he wished he was anywhere but where he was at. I've been there and done that. Not everybody. I mean, the young people were still full of piss and vinegar, and that's great. But guys my age or women my age, I could see it. They were just feeling detached and not angry, just kind of dejected, stress. I think the economy is taking a big toll on people. The inflation was stupid. I stopped off for a cup of coffee. It was $3 at AM PM, you know. And I used to go and it was 89 cents for the same thing. So stress. I think a lot of financial pressure on people. I am back in the Philippines, mate. Thank you very much. I'm not surprised many people aren't interested in visiting the Philippines. I've lived in Asia since in the Navy for over 20 years. My family doesn't even come. I have to always go back. I didn't say that they weren't interested in visiting the Philippines. It's amazing to me because the majority of the people that I talk to are interested in coming out here. Hence the reason why I'm going to do a video about the process. It was just interesting to me that out of all the people that I met, there were 3 or 4 guys that were not interested in going here. They were still young and still working. They want to bring their woman that they met online initially and then in person sometime previously out here. But then I talked to 4 more guys and they were just like me, moving over for either economical reasons or for companionship or both. Wisconsin, hello, Charlie. Hi, Paul. Glad you made it back okay. I'm getting all my things finalized so I can go back. See there? Hope to meet you someday after I get back over there. Absolutely, dude. Hook up. I had no more fun. The funnest thing that I did. I can't say meeting my kids was fun. It was more, I don't know, deeper than that on a lot of levels. The kids and my father. But meeting guys like you, flesh, one-on-one, having conversations was beyond awesome. It was fun. Thank you very much, Dan. Great to see you home, a baby man. I'm sure you spoiled her with gifts. The video with your dad was awesome. You're right on both counts. Thank you. Just joined. Are you back in the Philippines? Yes, I am, Max. You don't recognize my Chinese curtains behind me? Oh, dude, she is. I mean, and I had one conversation with a guy that met the opposite of Baby May. And I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I'm going to call him up and take notes and do a dedicated video to his experience. It's so awful, it's funny. Yeah, but May's a rock star. And I had my fair share of dates in between. So I knew the difference. USA is home. Actually, this is home to me. I mean, I love my country. I would defend it. I would go to war for it if I wanted me. Of course, I'm too old for that. But I love my country. Um, but I love my adopted country also. But in my heart, I'm always going to be an American. John, he's already back in the Philippines. Yeah. Good morning, Paul. Good to see you back. Thank you very much. Switching to Gatorade. Well, in the Philippines, I saw your pop video, 5 stars. Thank you very much. Yeah, if we could give it more, we would, right? He's awesome. '26th. Wish I knew that sooner. I bought insurance for 30 days already because I knew I was going to stay 30 days and then extend. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a knucklehead thing. Probably, I don't know what you paid, but I think I looked at it in 30 days was like $89 or something like that. And the 2 weeks was 50. So I saved a little bit of money, but there's no point. You're not going to use it anyway. I was reading the policies too. And I thought, yeah, this would be fun if you actually had a claim. Typical insurance companies. My dad took me down. Speaking of my dad took me down when I was a little kid to downtown LA. And he says, "You see the tallest buildings down here?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "What are they?" So I was reading it off, and I said, "Well, they're all insurance companies." He says, "Remember that." You don't get to be the tallest by giving away any money. Panorama City in the house, my hometown. Hey, Paul, don't tell me you're still in USA. Okay, I won't. I thought you would be kicked out of the USA. Yeah, now the authorities didn't catch up with me like some people claimed was going on. Oh, it's 91 in Vegas. You know what, man? I got there at St. Patty's Day and friggin' March Madness, and it was just nuts. It was just packed, waiting in line for breakfast. And oh, well. Welcome home. Thank you, group, dude. I want to retire, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what you mean, what to do. And why would you want to retire here? I would analyze that. Is it economic? That's why I came here. I came here purely, 100% economic reasons, because I knew I could live on my Social Security check. Did not care about meeting anybody. And look what happened. So I think the best thing I can tell you is once you get here, the Philippines will do you. Hello, Paul from the U.S. in Davao. Good to see you back, buddy. Thank you, Texas. I am going to go to Davao. You can also buy cheapest refundable ticket to anywhere, then cancel it and get all your money. That's true. That is true. You can buy a fully refundable ticket. Pay full tilt, doesn't matter. And then just cancel it once you're done with it. That is a good option. Good morning. Glad you're happy and safe. Got to go. My girl in Cebu is after me. All right. Take care, Mark. You're probably already gone. Welcome home, Paul, from Jonathan Jones in Conyers, Georgia. Well, welcome aboard, Jonathan. A lot of the hospitals, if you're not insured, is pay as you go. What happens if they treat you for a few days and can't pay? Do they keep you? Yes, they do. Until you pay. Although I have an app on my phone, not an app, I have a letter on my phone that says that method and process is illegal. That's by the Philippines Congress. I have that on my phone. If I ever get in that position where they say, hey, you didn't pay your bill, I'll just show them that and say, you have to make a financial agreement with me. So if I got into the hospital, although we do have enough money to pay for anything that happens, we've been saving for 5 years. May and I have been together 3 years. That's when we really started saving. I think we have enough money to cover that. And we have a joint account. And I have a credit card, which is now maxed out. But I have to, once I get that cleared up, we will have that as a backup. But that is an interesting dynamic out here. Is guys have been put in the hospitals, and they had the money. They just had to go get the money. They wouldn't let them leave. And the only other thing you can do is, I have this letter on my phone. It's in my screenshots. So I would call the police on them. Say they're breaking the law. Show them the app. I have the right to leave. And if you sign an agreement that says, okay, I'll pay you $5,000 a month or whatever the number is, they've got to accept it via the law out here. So always have something, knowledge is power. So I'm now equipped with that knowledge. Personally, the reason I set up a joint account with Baby May and myself is just for that reason. She can go down and access the money, come and pay the bill. It felt quick, huh, Manny? It felt like forever towards the end, but it was a good trip. It was very fulfilling. It was mission accomplished. Everything I set out to do, I did. There's some nicky-nacky stuff that I didn't buy or eat, but I can't complain. Snorting, rubbing, I was. That's a fact. You think I'm kidding? I had alcohol and a Q-tip up my nose for the test. Also, hi to Baby May. Absolutely. Where'd she go? She's been outside forever. People asking stupid questions. People who will never going to the Philippines. Yeah, well, they come to the territory. You should have seen what some guy said about me when I left. Somebody sent me a link to a hater blog and troll. And I never watched that stuff. But I know the guy. And the guy says, if you want to laugh, he goes, I know you don't like this shit, but watch this. And it was a guy that made a video and said something like, I forget the title, like Dirty Dog Chased Out of the Philippines. And according to this vlogger, or this hater troll guy, who's got a channel dedicating to do just that, hate and troll, he said that I was being chased out of the Philippines because the authorities were after me. Now, authorities is a pretty generalized term. I mean, which ones? Immigration, police, land transportation. Someone sue me? Did I not pay a bill? What did I do? But that wasn't clarified. And that May, I was ditching May. And she was going to have to go back to living a life of poverty or whatever. And this was an old trick used by foreigners just to get rid of women. And then I was going to go scam my dad out of his house or something. And on and on and on it went. And guys were writing in. Then I went into the comments. And the guy says, guys were defending me. They were saying, no, he's going to see his father. When he comes back, are you going to apologize? And I thought, that's the best question yet. Well, this guy set up an apology video. I can bet you $1,000 he won't. Good to see you back. I'm going to Cebu in April. Cool. The longer you can wait, the easier it's going to be. Paul, you're a foreigner and you're entering the Philippines and you have VAC documents. I could see why she questioned it. You're a foreigner and you're entering the Philippines. You have VAC documents from the Philippines. Oh, that wasn't the fact that it was from the Philippines. This guy was just being goofy about why I'm going to Singapore and when am I going to come back to America, which is a question that doesn't apply. It doesn't matter why I'm going to Singapore. He couldn't get into his head that it wasn't a round trip. So I just know he's new because I've hit the same thing 5 years ago with a guy that I said I was going from somewhere to somewhere. And he said, well, how are you going to get from Cebu to Manila? I told him, burro. I'm going to take a burro trip. What's it to you how I get there? I can walk, I can drive a car, I can take a ferry, I can fly. And his supervisor heard my voice get loud. She said, it's fine, it's fine. Thank you very much, Stephen. You guys rock. She was trying to see if Colonel Sanders was alive. Alive and well, man. Guapo123, he's got questions. You just have to leave the Philippines and can turn around, come right back, perhaps even on the same plane. I know guys that have done that to extend their visas. He passed away, that man that did that. He went to Singapore or Hong Kong, one of the two, waited in the airport and got on the same aircraft with the same crew. They just crossed over from midnight to the next day, and he was good to go for another 3 years. Had another guy named Brett. I got news yesterday, just as I got home. He died. I wasn't a good friend of mine, but he was an acquaintance. He's a guy I had coffee with. And man, I knew something was wrong with him 2 months ago because we were talking to him and he wasn't making any sense. And he always looked lethargic and tired. And he used to be a chiropractor, and his wife's a nurse. So that combined, you think he'd got a little better treatment. But sorry to see him go. But you should do a video on what happens when you die over here. 407, and only, the only thing I ask for all this is a thumbs up. Come on, you cheapskates. Don't forget to hydrate. Let's go, Brandon. Okay. Looking tough in that salmon shirt. Yeah, I'm as gay as you can get. Tests are free here in Delaware. Well, good for Delaware. That's because I think our president's from there. Let me tell you this, Global Greg, they ain't free in Palm Desert, and they ain't free at the airport. I got the receipts to prove it. My antigen test in Japan is 160. They wanted 250 for PCR within 24 hours. I think the antigen test is free in America. No, it's not. It's just not. Maybe if you went to a public organization, what do they call it? You know what I'm talking about. And you want to wait all day, you could probably get one for free. Thank you very much, Isaiah. I'm sure we'll be happy when all the COVID hysteria is over. We can try without all that nonsense. I resemble that remark, buddy. Hide in the shadows. I just spanked the like button. God bless you. That's all we asked for. I don't even know why we asked for it. It started up one day, so we ran with it. Yeah, you're right. That's why they keep holding on to the testing. People making bank on the test. Sure as shit are. If anybody has any delusions about this testing has become a great money-making opportunity. Fantastic. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm not a pro-vaxxer. I'm just, I don't get excited either way. I was anti-mandates, if anything. I don't think anybody should tell somebody they can't go to work if they don't take a jab, especially when they feel so adamant about it. That's their right. You have the right to, quiet enjoyment. So anyway, don't get me on that. The like button is free, China Dave. That is correct. We were running them half off last year, but this year I don't know. We're losing money on every like. But we're making it up in volume. Thank you very much, Gary. Thanks, Dr. Death. Spank the light. See, now we're getting some cheerleaders in here. This is good. To Gaylord the chicken. Gaylord's good. Friggin' Gaylord. He's awesome. Everybody had their picture taken with Gaylord, by the way. They didn't really care about me, but they got their picture taken with Gaylord. Why do you call this chat? Yeah, I know. It's more like speech. Glad you're at home safe, my friend. Thank you, Stephen. $40 for antigen test in Mexico. The point is, it's supposed to be free. Yeah, they all look the same except for Baby May. It's a bit unique. Unless the Philippines changes their fragrance, I'm afraid I'll never be able to return. A lot of people feel that way. A lot of people just don't feel like taking a foreign substance and have it put in their body. I got vaccinated, but it wasn't like something I would have run out and done. I've had COVID twice. May's had COVID twice. We survived. My dad had COVID, and he survived. Congratulations on your successful trip back home. Thank you, Jeff, so much. Aloha, Aaron. Same to you, buddy. Hi, Paul. When can you make a video about setting up a virtual mailbox? Oh, okay. Yeah, that was something I did. I forgot all about that. Set up a virtual mailbox. I got an American phone number for a month, and I've had some suggestions. I haven't done the mechanics on it yet, but I'm going to turn it into a Google Voice or a, what do you call it? One of those deals, like $10, $20 a month or something like that. And I get to keep the number. The girl at T-Mobile was totally cool. She said that she'll give me, I told her what I was going to do. I said, I'm only going to use you for a month. And then I'm going to the Philippines. And she looked up the Philippines and she goes, yeah, you need to move it, because back in the day when I first came here, I just had to pay $15 to T-Mobile, and I kept it alive for a couple of months. And then I killed it and got a Globe card and never looked back. But she goes, the Philippines is like extra. So it's $15 more to go international on top of $60. So that would be $75. And then 30 cents a minute on the conversation. That didn't exist back in the day. Can you imagine being put on hold or pushing this button to get to that button and then finding out once you get to the operator that you're 10 minutes away and you're paying 30 cents a minute? It would drive me nuts. I'm glad you made it back home safe, and bless baby May. Amen to that. They did not. There was a guy hit me up at the last minute that said, hey, I just got off the phone with Philippines Airlines, and now they're looking for the Trays app. And I went on Philippines Airlines. They weren't asking for the Trays app. So I didn't screw with it. It took me 4 hours to sign up for everything. One quick thing, nothing's ever quick with me, that they covered was the One Health Pass, that you have to have that. You have to have a Vax card. You have to be negative. You have to have the One Health Pass. You think the One Health Pass would be enough, but no. Took me 4 hours to do it. I met a guy in line before I got up to Mr. Friendly at the counter, and he told me the same thing. It took him about 2 hours. It kept blowing us out. No matter what we put in, it said something was wrong when there was nothing wrong. Turns out they were updating the site at the exact same time we were trying to get on it. And so nothing was working. And then I guess finally they got done, and I pushed the button for like the 50th time, and it said, okay, you're registered. And here again, I had to do it at the last minute because it wants last minute things loaded onto it, like the test, the insurance, the throwaway ticket. There's no point in doing it until you have the test done. And anyway, thank you. The flight from hell. It was rough. But you know what? I was able to, it actually went relatively short. Believe it or not, even though I had a screaming baby next to me, the flight itself, once in the air, I just kept my eye on the prize. I was able to knock off for a few hours of sleep, and they fed us well, tasteless but filling. And I can't get over the fact that I did not gain a pound while I was over there. I've gone on this big whiz-bang diet before and was successful at it and maintained it for 3 months. And I said, I'm going to be carrying 5, 6, 10 pounds after this, because I was eating fast food. I was eating carbs and a little bit of sugar. I had a couple of milkshakes, but nothing seriously. I actually think a milkshake is healthier for you than a Coke. So I think that's where people get nailed, is on the soft drinks. America is a lot bigger than they are here. I'll tell you that. Men and women and kids. I took some pictures of it. I mean, super big. Yikes, screaming kids. I thought they had a special section for parents or the plane. Was the plane full? Nope. And they managed to move me out of the kindness of their heart right next to her. Pulled me out of line or wouldn't let me on the plane until I went to the tower where I thought I was being 86 because I'm paranoid. It's just been one of those friggin' days. Um, and they said, "Oh, good news. We've moved you up more forward in the plane." Yeah, that was great. It was 90%. It wasn't capacity. There was empty seats, but I would say 90% full. The other 10% couldn't get past that one guy at the freaking gate. Yeah. Now, let me clarify. She didn't cry the whole time. She screamed her head off the first 2 hours. Well, yeah, first 2 hours. The whole time we were piddly farting around on the runway, which for some reason, I guess they're waiting for clearance for takeoff. And then when we took off, and I have traveled with my own children when they're that age. And so being a grandparent, parent, I remember that hurts their ears. That's what my wife would tell me. She goes, their ears get screwed up when they go up. And their ears are sensitive. And so, you know, the father in you more or less comes out, and you have empathy and sympathy for the woman. Really, kids are going to be kids. 2-year-olds are going to be 2-year-olds. And after a couple of hours, and the baby was starting to get some looks, not from me because I just put my head down. I didn't want to embarrass the mother. She started to get some looks from around the plane, starting to get on their nerves. But after 2 hours, she finally cooled it, and then she went to sleep. And then she got up and she played, and then she'd have another bout of crying for whatever reason, just restless, just being a kid. And so, actually, sitting next to her wasn't any worse than sitting 10 rows away. You could still hear a little louder. Yes, that's true, Joe. This is not a chat, it's a monologue, and it is all about me. Hence the name, Paul in the Philippines. Thank you for noticing. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining in. What would you tune in for? What else am I supposed to do? Just sit here and say thank you to everybody? Glad you made it back and survived the travel BS. Me too, Joseph. Earplugs would have been a good idea. What was immigration like in Manila coming back into the Philippines, bro? Well, if I repeat it, I'm going to upset somebody. It's on earlier in the broadcast. But coming from Manila was fine. Manila to the States was awesome. They were totally cool. So getting out of the country was no problem. It really wasn't. It was coming back. It was LAX that was full of it. Yeah. Yeah. All I've got is gray. Come on. Gray Earth. Travel to the Philippines? I don't think so. Well, you won't be seeing Matt Coder on there. Oh my God, you were screwed over big time. Thanks for the info. I've really screwed myself because if I'd have paid attention to the fine print, um, and another guy actually pre-warned me that he got sent downstairs also. But I was under the impression it's because he had gotten the wrong vaccine. The wrong antigen test. I had initially signed up for the wrong antigen test till I went down to take it. It was originally $75, and it was some kind of other test that just shows, I forget what it shows. They've come up with all kinds of tests to sell you. But the guy asked me, he goes, "Now, what are you using this for?" And I told him exactly what I'm using it for. He goes, "Well, you bought the wrong test. We'll refund you $75, but this one cost $129." So, write me up. Thank you for catching my error. So just be cautious about what you're buying. Be cautious of the 24-hour time. However, that can change tomorrow. One of these days, they're going to drop it completely. One day they should If the vaccine, here I will go a little into it, if the vaccine is supposed to protect you and everybody else, why isn't that enough? Got the vaccine card, the certificate, come on. Oh, he's here because he's got nothing else going on. My flight at 3 p.m. on April 1st. I'm doing an antigen test at 4 p.m. the day before on March 31st, but don't arrive in Manila. It doesn't matter what time you arrive. It matters what time you board the plane. All right, let me say that again real clearly. My flight, I boarded the plane at noon. I needed to have taken the test at 12:01 or any time after so that I was under 24 hours. It doesn't matter what time you arrive in the Philippines. Not all flights are direct. Some people are going to go to Japan, or they're going to go to South Korea, or they're going to go to San Francisco from LAX, and then they're going to go. That was one of my routes, and that was from Vegas. But anyway, you're going to go different routes. Just remember, this is where I screwed up. It's when you board the plane. When you step on that plane, you have to be within the 24-hour rule. And it doesn't matter what happens after that. It's out the window. Greetings, Paul, from Edina, Minnesota. You made it back to the Philippines okay. Time goes quick. I'm planning to come over in June. Well, that's awesome. I think the later you come, the easier it'll get. Hi, Paul. Did you take a direct flight? I did. Yeah, it was 15 hours. Once we were in the air, everything was cool. Prior to that, I wasn't happy. Great story. Hope you had Tylenol with you. I sure did. Thank you very much. And thanks for the super chat, Scotty. They're trying to keep out illegals. I don't have my boarding pass. I was sitting next to the fat lady with the crying kid. Ask her. Actually, the only thing she wasn't was fat. She was a Filipino. But she didn't say one word to me the whole trip. I said a couple comments to her like, hey, your baby's cute. And would she like this? You know, I had cookies or something left over. And she never even acknowledged I was there. Oh, I'm sorry too, John. That's probably my fault. Excuse me. I had so many guys contact me that said, hey, let me know, do this, do that, do the other. By the time I got back to the message, it was over with. And like I said, I haven't answered a comment on a video in over a week, so that ship sailed. And the old channel's underperforming as expected. But Maze is rocking and rolling, so that's the important thing. She's been putting out some hot videos. I had a hard time finding out about the ballot line visa stamp. Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm praying, probably in vain, that in July they will drop the testing and the mask. They really didn't break my balls this time about the mask coming home. They did. They kept telling me to put my mask back up. I can't breathe in those things. On the way there. On the way home, I had my mask down or off, and they never said a word. So that's just me. I don't know if it's still a requirement. The testing, I can't speak for it, but you got a much better chance in July than you do now. Never give advice, share insight. Exactly. That's very well put. I'd rather much tell you what happened to me and give you the disclaimer that just because it happened to me doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. And I'm very afraid always to say, yeah, it's no problem. Because guess what? Tomorrow it can turn into a problem, no matter what you're doing. Not just getting on a plane, but living life. Gina's Life Adventures. You can get your COVID test in California at airport for $250 same day when you walk-ins or appointments, 8 to 5. San Francisco airport. Wow. It was $80 for me at LAX. That's a ridiculous amount of money for a test that's supposed to be free. Did you need a digital vaccination card? If so, how did you do that? Yes and no. My Vax card is just that. It's a card. I got it here done in the Philippines. And I had to have that verified, which Baby May knew about, and I didn't. So I went down and got that, which is saying that it's not a counterfeit card. So I had those with me. And then I had to do what's called a One Health Pass, where you upload a photo of the vaccination card, which makes it digital. And so, yes, you have to have both, actually. You have to show the card, and it has to be digitally uploaded to the One Health Pass. Hey, Paul, good to see you back home. I really enjoyed our time together in Palm Desert, chewing the fat at the restaurant. Your friend from California, Oscar. Oscar, it was awesome seeing you, man. I had a good time with all of you, and thanks so much for coming, buddy. Baby May says hi. Went, came back, going again late June. My 43-year-old Filipino is awesome. Executing the midterm plan. Yeah. The later you wait, the better it is, in my mind. How was May feeling now that you're back in the Philippines? I think she's really happy. She told me, she confessed to me that she collapsed one day. She's very sensitive and very, I don't want to say insecure, but she was worried about me the whole time. Not like infidelity wise. She was just worried about my health, and she was worried about me traveling, and I'm in cars and I'm in planes, and she's a worry wart, which she is. And when I met her at the airport, she had been there 5 hours. Even though I told her I'm not getting there until 5 or 6. I told her that before I lost internet connection. I told her twice because I knew I wasn't going to have any internet. And Messenger was going to be dead. Email was going to be dead. And I couldn't call because I didn't have the SIM card for here. Anyway. But yeah, man, she was a basket case for many days. Kept herself busy. She did a lot of videos. She did a great job with the videos. She just busted a move every day. But she was really happy. And I was really happy to see her. He is. He is. He's been my rock throughout the years. Thank you very much, Lloyd. Mr. Vegas. Paul, looks like your weight stayed stable. Can you believe I didn't gain a pound? I'm confused. I ate carbs. I ate sugar in small amounts. I didn't overdo it, though, I guess is the key. I ate like 1 or 2 pieces of toast and a couple of bites of potatoes that came with the eggs and the steak that I had every morning because it was so good. I ate the bun with the burger. I didn't go animal style, or what do you call it, lettuce wrap style. I didn't gorge myself on any. Every now and then a Coke sounded good, and I said, no, it's just poison. So I can't believe it, but I did not gain 1 friggin' pound, and I wouldn't have been unhappy if I came back 5 or 6 pounds heavier. Would be expected. My dad's doing really well, and then he has moments where he's not so good. Thank you very much, Jim. You sleep for 2 days when you get home. Believe it or not, I pooped out at 9 o'clock last night, and I was up at 5 a.m., and it felt great. You know why? I'll tell you, it's mindset. Here, there are days where I wake up at 5 a.m., and for some reason or another, I don't know why, I'm tired again by 7 or 8. And I just take great respite in knowing that I can tell baby, hey, listen, I'm going to go back to bed. She's like, great. She just goes back to bed with me, and we just lay around all day. And then we have other days where we just get out and bust a move. I didn't have that luxury, of just saying, I'm just going to stay home, listen to music till I fall asleep. And we'll just eat at home. We'll drink at home. We always keep plenty of stuff. But today we're out of stock on a few things, so we're going to go fix that up. And I do want to go have a coffee with the boys. And May wants to run around in a new outfit and show everybody. So we're going to do that. But it's just nice to be home because it's, we're at home is where the heart is, number one. So I've got baby here. And then number 2, it's my place. And so it's not some hotel room. I hope you will make a video about documents from USA to Philippines and how you got everything done. I will. I'm going to make an infomercial, if you will, video. And again, I already know it's going to be a low view video, just like everything else I did lately, which is fine. It's just something that I feel I need to pay back after meeting so many cool people, my subscribers, the ones that are loyal and watch the channel and enjoy it and don't judge and are open-minded and kind. I figure, you know what? If I can help one guy, I know it sounds cliche, but I mean it. If there's one guy out there, I can save him some brain damage. It's well worth it. And those that want to watch can watch. And those that don't. It's going to be just one of my public information videos, which I do every now and then. There are good people in the United States. There are. I never felt that there were bad people in the United States. I was just disenfranchised with my opportunities as far as having any kind of a social life. That's what was turning me on about the meetings that happened in Vegas and happened in meetings with gatherings and happened in Palm Desert in the Coachella Valley. I'm hoping those people made connections with each other and expanded their friend base and can, get together and have coffee and dinners together. I don't know. There are so many good people in America. They are just under the friggin' gun. They're being pushed and mandated around. They're being charged. Like I said, 3 times the price for coffee, 3 times the price for gasoline. A cup of coffee at wherever. I did not see a big markup in Walmart when I bought myself clothes. I bought a bunch of T-shirts and underwear and shorts and cargo shorts and all that kind of happy stuff that just can't find out here. And it was real easy to figure out what my size was and then just grab one of each color. And then I found shoes. I think I brought home 5 pairs of shoes just because shoes are impossible to find out here in my size. And I don't have a big foot. I've gone from an 8.5 to a 9.5 for some reason. I don't know why. But I bought it. Every shoe I bought was a 9.5. Slipped it on real quick. It took me 3 minutes to decide because I'm not a big shopper and I'm not a slave to fashion. So if it fit good, it felt good, I was all over it. And actually 5 or 6 pairs of shoes like that will last quite a while, especially if I rotate them, instead of wearing the same ones, which I was doing. I actually left my old shoes at the hotel room. I just set them on top of the trash can, didn't throw them in the trash can, and kind of wanted to let the maids know that was a gift because they were not old. They weren't funky. They were just too small, and they were uncomfortable. So I left them. Hopefully, one of the maids or housekeeping staff has a son or somebody that could use them. Do you have a U.S. driver's license? Did it expire? And that's why people were driving you around. Yes, I had that exact happen. I am under the impression that I'm legal to drive under my Philippines driver's license. I'm a licensed driver, and I think it's good for only like 30 days or something like that. One of the things that I thought about doing and changed my mind on was going to the DMV and renewing my license, but I just don't see a need for it. There is a deal that my ex-wife turned me on to, and I forget the name of it. I'm going to ask her on Messenger. And so I saw her while I was out there. We were talking about the kids. It's like Airbnb on a car. So you can rent a car, I think 3 days for $250 or something like that. And then you bring it back filled with gas. And they'll sell you insurance. So, can my Philippines driver's license work? I think so, because I asked a few people that, and they kind of scratched their heads and didn't know either. But I got to thinking about it. So many people, especially in both locations, Palm Springs and the Palm Desert, La Quinta area, a lot of those people are Canadians, so they'd have a Canadian driver's license, and I'm sure they drive on it. And they're not going to go down and get an American driver's license. Wouldn't make sense. They don't live there. And all the international people that bug into Vegas want to rent cars and drive the kids around or whatever. So it's an interesting question. I don't know the answer to it. Maybe somebody can let me know. I have not been to Tacloban. Thank you very much, Doo-Doo Mail. Hi, Robert. It's Friday. Actually, here it's Saturday. Welcome back. Thank you, Roy. Appreciate you. Thank you very much, Jerry. Sure, happy to be back home. Did you have to wear a mask during the flights? Going to America, I did. Coming back, they never brought it up. I do feel like I'm home now. And it's funny. The minute I got to America, there was zero culture shock. It's as if I had lived there the day before. It's like I'd been gone for 3 days and came back. Nothing struck me as, I had a new appreciation for the roads and traffic lights. In fact, I filmed it. I was driving my sister's car, and I know you're not supposed to do this, but I was videotaping with one hand. And I was showing May, I go, look. And she was just like, she goes, what's that? I go, it's a red light. She goes, what does that mean? I says, it means, it's like talking to a school kid. But she'd never seen it before. And I said, it means stop. She goes, oh. And so we all came to a stop. And then she goes, oh, those people are turning. I go, yeah, they got an arrow. So they're allowed to turn in front of me. And there's no way I can hit them because I'm stopped at the light. And she said, oh. And then green light, go. And she says, that is genius. Because out here, it's every man for himself. You just go for the next piece of pavement that's in front of you. So she was really impressed. And I told her, I said, you know what, honey, I'd love to do nothing more than take you to America. And it's such a hassle to get a Filipina into the States. I'd have to do a whole fiance visa deal. Tourist, you can't get in. I think they only allow 50 tourists a year from the Philippines. So I would do it. I would go through the hoops. In fact, I might start the paperwork this week. I've been thinking about it. So I would really like to take her with me next time. And that's one reason why I would like to rent a car for a few days. I would still be more than happy to hook up with Steve and China and Tim and anybody else because it's fun. It's just fun to hang out. And I'll buy the gas. I'm not afraid of that. But it would be cool to be able to just jump in the car with May and drag her ass up to Mount Charleston or something and show her the snow. Show her the shops. Had one gentleman take me to Caesar's Palace, and I filmed a little bit in there. And he took me to a nice restaurant in there. We had, what do we have? We had fish. Wow, 25,000 views on the video with your father. Yeah. I've always considered that 20,000, which is half my subscriber base, is a good video. And I'm happy with that. It means that it was interesting to people. Anything less is kind of a poor job. And so the subsequent videos that I did after that were really not good jobs. One was just me and Jim. I did it for us, A lot of this isn't about YouTube or getting a lot of views or anything. It's just a video diary of my life, and that was a part of my life that I didn't want to miss out on. And Jeffrey had fun doing it. And then I did one about good tired, bad tired, and I was dead tired when I did it. But I did that video, believe it or not, for myself, because I wanted to remind myself about good tired and bad tired and when to recognize bad tired. Did Baby May recognize you? And yeah, I bet she did. Can I ask how long your son got for time in jail? He got 10 years. He's done 8. What happened to the food weight? Nothing. I ate like an American, all right, and got used to. And I had patty melts, I had pastrami sandwiches, all the stuff that I can't find out here. And I satisfied that craving. A real chocolate shake, um, sourdough toast. The only reason I ate it because it was sourdough. Well, here you get white. But I didn't put jelly on it. I don't know. Maybe that's the key. I don't know. And I kept busting a move. I walked more there than I ever walk here. Yes, I am hydrated. And you guys need to hit the thumbs up button and like it, or else. I'm so happy you were there, Ramon. Thank you so much. And maybe May, hold on a second. Are you coming back in? Come back in. Baby May wants to thank everybody, and I was going to write you, but there they are, the Hawaiian chocolates. They made the trip, buddy. It was great meeting you. So what are the main problems with Philippines Air? Oh, their website sucks. Their customer service has a lot to be desired. They're perpetually late. For example, I booked a trip that was guaranteed, because of COVID, they can't raise the price or anything on you. And they couldn't charge you a rebooking fee if I changed because I was sick or whatever. Well, guess what? 24 hours after I booked my initial flight, they changed it. And so I went into the Philippines office here in Dumaguete, and they charged me $80. I said, I thought there was no charge. And she says, well, there isn't. There's no rebooking fee, but the price of that ticket went up. I said, but I didn't change it. You did. She said, yeah. I said, so I still have to pay? What if I don't pay when you don't go? That was kind of the attitude that I got. And I pretty much got that attitude from everybody I talked with them. Philip, hey, Paul, both mom and dad had full dementia before they passed. They kept asking the same questions over and over, and it was so sad. Take care. Yeah, my mother did that. When my mother passed away, she had full-on dementia. And I would go see her. I would drive from Las Vegas to Reseda, where she had a little apartment. And I would go visit her, and I would sit there for hours with her. And I would say, okay, Mom, that's it. I got to go. And I'd get in my car, and my phone would ring, and it would be my mom, and she'd say, Paul? And I'd say, yeah. And she goes, I thought you were coming to visit today. And it just broke my heart. I'd just been there for 4 hours, and she has zero recollection of it. 92 in Vegas today. See? I took all the good weather with me. It's beautiful here. You can blame me. Woo-ah, it's getting up there. Oh yeah, how are you feeling? How's your health? I heard something was going on with you. I think I talked to you about it. You had something with your toe. I can't remember what the details were, bro. Thank you very much, John. Paul, you had a good guy, period. That's why everyone loves you. Oh, you're a good guy, period. Well, thank you for that. But the guys that I met were just totally awesome. I mean, really, they really were. I'm not just blowing smoke. Everybody I met was interesting and had a good story and information. And I learned so much from them. And they were all just like humble people, didn't matter their status in life. Oh, and you know what happened is I had lunch. No, I would take that back. I had breakfast with a gentleman, and I'll keep everybody anonymous on this kind of stuff. He was completely anti-vax. And it seemed like everyone I talked to on a one-on-one basis, that topic came up. And everybody kind of got on their soapbox. I didn't. I just listened. And then they would apologize. And they'd say, I'm sorry. I know, talking politics and vaccines and Russia and all that, that's really not what this is for. And I'd say, well, it's okay. You can share with me. But then we got into what I call the conversation, because everything else is just an opinion, right? And so later that evening, I got in with a guy that was totally pro-vax and can't imagine a world without people getting vaccinated. And we had that 10-minute discussion where I pretty much just said, okay, yeah, that's cool. I see how you feel that way. And he too said, I need to stop talking about this shit. We got other things to discuss. Both guys said the same thing. One was for, one was against, but they both came to the same conclusion, that this isn't what we're here for. I didn't come all this way to see you so I could talk to you about what I think about vaccines. And then we got into it and we had a real conversation. It was just healthy that way. Greg just saw that on my app. Okay, I don't know what you saw, but that's good. Your open honesty is refreshing. Well, thank you. I learned that from my father. Just tell the truth, good, bad, or indifferent. It's not easy to sit here and say, hey, I got a kid that uses drugs, or I got a kid that committed a crime and landed him in jail. It's not an easy thing to say. It's not what I want to say. I want to tell you that, hey, my kids are getting ready to graduate from whatever. One's a biologist and the other one's an attorney. Except I don't like attorneys, so I don't want to use that. But it's not reality, is it? Reality happens. And people need to learn that it's not their fault so many times. And people found it very relieving. A couple of guys, one guy that I talked to in the car alone, I won't mention who, was able to ask me a pertinent question about something very personal. And I responded and with the truth. And what do you know? He fired right back with the same situation. And I could tell in some small way, it was nice to have someone to talk to and share it with. Because guess what? We were both in the same little boat, in the same big ocean. That is what's important, I think, so that we not keep each other isolated. We stay connected. Hey, Paul, followed you for years. I'm sorry. You got your SRRV 2 days ago, and you're here in Tagaytay. I plan next week to come down to you. I'd like to meet you if possible. Well, don't even ask, Ken. Just do it. Come on. Just call me when you're in town. We'll go out. Or you can come over. All right, Paul, happy you got your trip completed and back. Yes, me too. I kind of want to go back to Las Vegas to do. Last time I was there, David Copperfield was doing a live at MGM. Yeah, that's another thing I didn't get to do. See, if I took May, we'd be able to go to some of the Cirque shows and some magic acts. And I remember I had an app back in the day that was last minute deals or something like that. So you would just agree to buy a ticket, not knowing where you're going to sit, but it would be during the day. And you could be going to see the Beatles Love, or you could be going to see David Copperfield or whatever. And you just agreed to do it and you paid and you showed up. You got a good rating. Man, I saw all kinds of cool people. I love comedy. And I saw all kinds of people during that time, all kinds of shows for half price or better. So that's what I would do. I would do stuff like that. Did you give your dad a final goodbye, and how did it work? I hope it wasn't final. I told my dad, this isn't our final goodbye. I'll be back in a year and a half or two to see you again. For your next, I'm going to try to go every birthday, which is March 3rd. And I don't need to make it such a long, drawn-out thing. I can pop in, do my thing, not go to Vegas, just hang out there for 3 or 4 days, go to his birthday celebration, do like I did, pack a bunch of stuff that we need, that we can't get or is hard to find, and go home. Hopefully it'll be a lot cheaper, be a lot faster, and that would be the core reason for going. I'm going to try to take May to Thailand. So if any of you guys are taking your girls to Thailand, let me know. Good morning, Doug. Glad to be able to say thank you very much, Mike. Good to see you back. Your dad was amazing. Thank you, Peter. Hi, Paul. Are you back in the Philippines? I am. Good morning, Paul and everyone from Davao. Good morning, Mr. Ron. I hope I don't experience sticker shock in the Philippines. You're going to waste a lot of money. Any tips? If anything else, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. There is no sticker shock in the Philippines. It blows my mind when people are paying for rents. They can't buy a car right now if they wanted to. Price of gas is on par. We're very high on gas, but I drive this gay looking little scooter. It just doesn't impact me. Maybe $20 a month for gas total. My rent's $400 a month, and I live in a 3-bedroom house. It's not the biggest house. It doesn't have a flat screen TV or a washer and a dryer. We take our laundry to the laundromat, but they do it for us. So it's just another trip down the road. It's no big deal. We got a little tiny refrigerator. We got a little freezer, but we have what we need. And I was talking to some guys that I met that were still very money orientated. And I could tell it was still their master. And that's okay. Everybody goes through that, I suppose. But I could tell this guy wasn't really ready. He's got too much to do or accomplish or try. And that's fine. That's just a season of his life. When I was bringing all this crap and the luggage and the baggage, and it was heavy and it was hard, and I was getting into arguments with the counter people. Not arguments, just, candid disagreements, we'll call it. And you know what? When I was on the plane, and I was thinking about the stuff, and I said, you know what? Every time I get halfway miserable, it's because of stuff. And it was good to get some new clothes. I need those. I found that's essential. You have to have, operating shoes and clothes. It was fun to buy May all the candy and stuff and surprise her. But at the end of the day, one day the candy will be eaten and the memory will be gone and the thrill will be gone. The money will always be gone. And I just got to thinking how much I enjoy this. I just enjoy not putting time, energy, effort into things. They're just inanimate objects. And I love buzzing around on the scooter, with or without me, and going down and hanging out with some friends. It's been extra spectacular lately because I've been meeting so many new people. I met like 5-6 guys at the airport that came over and said hello, that recognized me, and didn't get into any long talks with them. I was too busy trying to book the wrong hotel room. And never saw them after I got off the plane. But everybody had things to do, places to be, and people picking them up. And when I got back to the Philippines and it was in Cebu, I thought I would not like Cebu to live, just from what I've seen. But I'm going to give it a shot with May coming up. We're going to go on a lot of trips next month, I mean. Thank you back. Thank you, Mr. Ron. The tool volcano is up to level 3. Yeah. Somebody's building something there. In fact, one of the guys that I met is building a water filtration system plant there. That's what he's doing. Pretty humanitarian subject, if you will. He's a gentleman that took me to Caesars. And I called him by the wrong name, too. I called 3 or 4 people by the wrong name all night. Great to see you back in the house. It's great to be here, Captain Crunch. Yeah, back in the doghouse. Hey, there's my pal. How you doing, sweetie? How's Canada treating you? Woohoo! Welcome back, Paul. Jim Stringy. I just want to get down to Vegas and buy you lunch just to thank you for your wisdom you've given me over the past few years in your non-advice channel. Well, that's okay, Jim. Next time we'll do it, buddy. You know what? It's probably my end. I bet you contacted me and I never replied. And that's just because I was getting overcooked with messages and emails and losing track of stuff. And then I'd be online, offline. So next time, buddy. Thank you very much from Cebu. He likes Cebu. I thought it was kind of a rat race. You can find good and bad people everywhere. That's a fact. Yeah. And there's no border on that. Good morning. I hope everything's going well with you. Where is the toy rooster? He's sitting over there. He's right there on the counter. Did you bring him from Phil's to the state? What's the story about it? Well, he's here. Gaylord made the trip with me. Just couldn't make the trip. Oh, okay. Hope you do that when over there. Telling you, bro, your Invisible Man video changed my entire outlook. Well, thank you for that. That's one of those videos that I think touches certain people on a certain level. The Invisible Man. Yeah. And it's good to know that you're not alone, I think. It's good to see you, everybody, Keith. Thanks for coming in. Of course, he is in the Philippines. I hear the roosters in the background. Got that right. Man, it was quiet in America. It was quiet, especially at my sister's house. You could hear a pin drop. It was weird. It was kind of eerie almost. American culture is not kind to old people living in big cities. Definitely the life of the invisible. I have to agree with you wholeheartedly on that. Old people are looking like they're just kind of in the way, taking up space, eating food. They're no longer productive. They have to be cared for instead of, they're no longer producing. They're no longer contributing, which is really not true because they do contribute on such a level. You just have to listen to them. Here in the Philippines, that dynamic just doesn't exist. Old people are revered and for their wisdom and knowledge, and it's just part of the culture. So that is sad, though, in America. Now, as you can see, that didn't affect me. My dad's 97, and honor thy father, the Bible says. Honor thy father and honor thy mother. So I did. I do. And I'm glad I don't fit into that category of the guy that just thinks his parents a burden. He's not. He's a joy. It's a gift. He's why I'm here. Hey, Connecticut, what's up there? $1.89 for a Snickers bar and $2.49 for a 20-ounce soda. Now our illustrious leader blowing this one about massive food shortages. Here comes the panic buying thanks to this. Well, I don't want to get on the political end of it, but I will agree with you that $1.89 for a Snickers bar and $2.49 for a 20-ounce soda, that is pretty obnoxious. Time to go back to bananas anyway. Better for you. How's the diet doing? I'm going the exact same thing because you inspired me. I'm going to go for it. Thanks for the inspiration. You got me going, Jack. I had no idea when I just mentioned about my diet that so many guys were going to take part in it and have had success with it. So that's just totally cool. And it's like, I had no idea. I was just telling people what I did and how it affected me and how I feel. It's all about me. I'm selfish. And these guys picked up on it and they said, you know what? I'm inspired because they saw the difference in me. Even a couple of local guys are buzzing me about it. And what's really crazy is that for almost 3 weeks, I ate like a typical American diet. Burger, fries, no Coke, but maybe that's the key. Burger, fries, pastrami, which again is some bread. I guess the biggest criminal act I did on my diet was the bread. Because sandwiches, hamburgers, pastrami, BLTs, obviously the In-N-Out burger thing I did 3 times because it turned out to be my favorite. Even better than Sheldon's burger, but that's just me. And I didn't gain an ounce. I came back and got on the scale. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was feeling a little puffy. But it didn't change a thing. I'm just puzzled by that. I figured I'd pack on 5 or 6 or 7 pounds minimum. American lifestyle is many things living beyond their means. Then you're challenged to retire. Tough working retail when you get into your 50s and beyond. I would agree with that. But most of the people that were behind the retail counter, only one that really kind of was a Karen. She was my age, and she just wanted to be a little dictator, and she pulled that off successfully. The other people were younger people, middle-aged people, males, females. They were behind the counter, and I just saw them. They don't want to be there. And I think they're getting $20 an hour. What blew my mind were the guys behind the counter at the hotel. They're just brain damaged, young kids. And I'll tell the hotel story too, but it's too much for this. Baby May's sitting out front. Baby May, come here, please. I have a good life here in America, low cost, but I have no hope of companion. That's probably a very true statement. What are you doing? Well, thank you for that very much. Appreciate that. There in Connecticut. Will Baby May come with you next time you return to the States? I don't think she can get in. There she is. Hey, the gentleman that sent you this was on the channel.
Yeah, thank you so much, Danny.
Let me take you up to him. What's up, Paul? Glad to see you had a good visit and back to the Philippines. Yeah. They asked if you were happy to see me.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
How long were you at the bus station?
How long? 5 hours? 5 or 6?
I told you twice that I wouldn't get there until at least 4, maybe 6. And what time did you get there?
Like 1.
1 o'clock.
Yeah, because I'm super excited.
She's the best.
I always ask in the people there in the guard, how many bus coming into Dumaguete from Cebu? I said, I think 5. So.
Yeah, I'm glad to be home, Redneck. Your dad was right. Yeah, my father's always been right. It took me many years to figure that out sometimes because I'd disavow, what he said. Rebel, I guess would be the word. Davow's a nice day. Hi, Greg. Okay, we're discussing amongst ourselves. China Dave, another Subway rebate. I love this time together. You are a brother to me. Yeah. Same back at you, brother. And you love the coin he gave you.
Yeah.
You're excited about that.
Very attractive.
Yeah.
I hope China Dave visit in here in Dumaguete. I hope so.
Yeah. Well, he's got some challenges, but that's what challenges are for.
Yeah.
To overcome. It doesn't snow in the Philippines, that's for sure. Thank you very much. Yeah, China Dave. It's always good to see China Dave. I still don't have the itch to return to the United States. Well, I was highly motivated by my father's situation. And I didn't want to go. Selfishly, I wanted to go buy some clothes.
Yeah,
and so I bought a lot of clothes. And I got, Miss Prissy over here, a couple of outfits.
Special gift.
She likes. And she got some chocolate.
Yeah, and then 3.
Yeah.
The 3.
So she's got the big score.
Because the 3 have the meaning. So
show China Dave your outfit. He wants to see your outfit. He wasn't here in the beginning. So just show him your pants. He likes you. He wants just real fast. Let me take this comment off. Here you go. Where you going? Camera's over this way. Good Lord. You stand up. Show him your pants. I bought those for her.
Sorry.
I thought they were classy.
Yeah, okay.
So there you go.
Yeah, that's my outfit.
Good. Get out of here.
Sorry, Sir China Day.
Scram.
My head is frozen.
Yeah. I know. I said, get over. You walked over in front of the mirror and looked at yourself. What a peach, I'll tell you. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry.
Can you believe I put up with this?
Can
you believe she puts up with me?
I'm really sorry.
Thank you very much, Vanilla. Oh, my goodness. We're going to have to wind this down. WB Paul, I don't have the itch to return the USA. Okay. Good to see me home. Thank you. It's good to be home. All right. So I'm going to miss a million comments, but as usual, my mouth runneth over. So go ahead and hit the like button. How long have I been on? 2 hours. You want
You're
to? Yeah,
beginning, I think, 8 o'clock.
2 hours.
And
We got things to do, huh?
yeah.
I don't mind leaving the hospital if there's a lot of hot Filipino nurses running around. There you go. Paul, did you try PAL Direct LAX? That's what I flew, boss. I can't wait to go. My last vacation was in the spring. Yes, we have spring here. 2012. Yeah. Yeah. Change your life. We had travel restrictions. Yeah, I'm going to do a video about it. I already did a big, long ass, boring monologue. So I just don't want to repeat it. Plus, we're getting to the 2 hour mark, which is about my limit. Did you fly into Duma or sail in from Cebu? I flew into Cebu and then I took the bus the next day after spending the night because there were no buses running when I landed. I would have just knocked it all out in one day. What the hell? When I went to Phoenix, I spent, I think, 19 hours total traveling in one day. You having children with baby May? Not my call. She feels a little differently
I
about
hope
that.
so.
See, she wants children. And I don't want any children. So we just agree to disagree on that.
Up to God.
Up to God.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Glad to see you safely home. I hope to see my dad in Laos. He's age 82, but I'm not ready to plant my roots yet at 53. Okay. I'm a retired U.S. veteran. We're traveling around for the best options to settle down. Time will tell. That's a good way to go, buddy. It's a good age to be yourself, and good thing to do is to travel around and, test the waters. Baby May has authority. Get that right.
Sorry. I'm big sorry, guys.
We're going to do a video about the vacation. Now, I've already told too much right here on the channel, but that's just me. My mouth runneth over. Oh, boy. What did you miss? Nothing. As usual, just a bunch of me yapping. You missed absolutely nothing at all.
You can share the depot you arrived in yesterday in bus station.
Okay. I'll do
You can
that.
share about the guard. Hello with you is the new in coming in the.
Oh, yeah. When I got on the bus in Cebu.
Okay.
Yeah, another confrontation.
Because
He saw me, I was all white
yeah.
because I lost all my color. So he thought, new guy. So he tried to double charge me at the bus station. And I politely let him know this wasn't my first rodeo. And he shut his ass down.
I remember.
It was funny. May like that story because she knows the drill. And
Because
if you come in with this deer in the headlights, super white skin, that's like opportunity, abundance of opportunity there. You can drain this guy's wallet, no problem. You don't know any different. Thank you so much. It was awesome. It's my favorite video of all time. It always will be. It can't change. Do you think you would still be with Baby May today if she were the first Filipino you met in the Philippines? Did it take the other Filipinos to meet? Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. I think if I had met Baby May, how shy she was when I met her and reserved and quiet, I don't think Baby May would have kept my attention. That's just the truth. I think I would have moved on. But the interesting part is I did date a few girls.
Yeah.
May knows them all. She's got them memorized. They're on the hit list. But when I met May, guess what? She was quiet and reserved. Yeah. But there was a sense that I picked up from her that if I hadn't have dated the other girls or been with them, I wouldn't have had. So, like she says, God's plan, things work out for a reason. And I did. That's a very candid question. I'll just give you a very candid answer. Yeah, I would have felt unsettled at the time. And now I can't imagine myself being with anybody but her. So that's a good thing, something. Well, I arrived on the 1st. Family met me at the airport, and after a month, I've come to find that what I perceived to be red flags were of my own creation. Glad you made it back safely. That can happen, buddy. That can't happen. Can I take a flight? I don't know. I have no idea. You got to call the airline, bro. I can barely get myself back. Help you book anything. I'm the last guy to ask about flying. Hey, Paul, watch you. Welcome back. Glad you made it home. Thank you, Renlin. Paul, we heard after the Philippines elections, they might raise travel restrictions again, depending on who wins the presidency. We are here in Metro Manila. You know what, man? That's just conversation right now. If you tune into 5 channels, they're going to tell you how they're lowering it. I can't imagine why any administration would not want to have their economy rebound. But, you know, like I say, stay tuned. Where was I? All right, we're going to last for 5 more minutes. Then we'll be almost 2.5 hours. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to miss comments. I always do. Yeah. I usually lose about 5 or 6 subscribers every live stream because they get pissed off. Either it's something I said or the fact that I shined on their comment. But I can't help it.
Randy Guthrie.
Yeah, he's saying hi to Lynn. 606. I don't know what that means.
I think the watching.
Jerry from Chicago. Glad to see you back. Nice to see you, Jerry. Thank you so much. Hello, Randy. Hi, Ron. I see we're discussing amongst ourselves. The heat's off me. Greetings from Singapore.
Wow, Singapore.
Yeah. Really? $20. Well, that's more reasonable, but I still think they should be free. Government's imposing it. Government should pay for it. 609. I still don't know what 609 means. Raymond's getting in on the conversation. Yeah. I know California's high on everything, so it didn't shock me that they charged me $129. But I heard other guys paid $250. Pal has JFK to Manila. See, there you go. Yeah. Dan P is your guy. Welcome back home. Hello from Cleveland, Ohio. I still have 18 years to 62, but who's counting, right? To retire with my wife from Lapu-Lapu. I was in Lapu-Lapu. Did you have to wear a mask on all the flights the entire time? I had to wear a mask leaving to go to America the whole flight. Coming back, I had a mask. A lot of people were wearing masks, but I pulled mine down or off, and nobody said boo. Is it required? I don't know. Maybe they're just tired of telling people. I know you're back in the Philippines. We can hear the dogs in the background. That and everything else, right?
Only cat.
Always a pleasure to see you again. Oh, there's China.
Yeah, China did.
All right. Well, kids, you know what? I hate to be a spoil sport, but I am going to hit the bricks. I apologize for not getting all the way through. China Day's laughing his ass off right now because he goes, every live stream, you don't get to half the comments. You go off on these big, long speeches. I got the feeling that every month that goes by, they're going to lighten up. But that's just a feeling, just not gospel. You should start making your subs take an antigen test before they could pass those to the chat. They do have a way, though, of, and I've never used it because I just think anybody should be able to jump in. But they do have a way where it's subs only. In other words, I could have set this chat up where only people who subscribe can take part, if you will. So it looks like we got a lot of the same people chatting with each other anyway. I really wanted to make sure I tried to get to, especially the new guys' comments. So I appreciate all of you very much. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Life's Expedition. And let's see if we got some new people here. Are you back in the Philippines? Yes. Apparently you're coming in late. That's okay. Thank you for the super sticker, IR. Appreciate you very much. Oh, here we go. Here's you'll never see a truer statement than this. LAX is horrible. It is. I've yet to find an airport that's good, but LAX freaking brutal, and Manila Airport brutal. Eesh. Let's see. Who's this? Kevin and Gemma. Oh, my insurance says unlimited. Does it mean to say COVID? Yes. It needs to say somewhere on there that you're covered, that COVID is covered. It needs to be on there. They have to see that. However, and I'll leave it at that. Mine had that statement. But what I was going to say, and I'll say it, but please don't take this as gospel, guys. When I showed them the insurance, they just kind of glanced at it. And then I had another paper that kind of verified it somehow, more official looking policy, and they set it aside. It's like, okay, that's done, that's done, that's done. They could have only done that with my antigen test. I would have had to go downstairs, pay another $80, and go through the trauma. And then they screwed me up right at the boarding pass. You know, well, I'm home, all right. It's all that matters. Let's see. This guy wants to know if I bought a wedding ring in the United States. Now, why would I buy a wedding ring? Huh? You got a ring on one of your fingers, don't you? Let me see what that is. Is that an engagement ring? I'll never tell. Coming to the Philippines this summer. Wife said it's time. Looking forward. Happy wife, happy life, Brad.
Yeah, that's good. That's right. I agree.
Boy, she jumped on that one. You kill me. You sit there quiet as a mouse. I said, happy wife, happy life. He goes, yep. You woke right up.
My brain is wake up now.
Yeah, your brain's awake now. Okay. Mine's never woken up. Oh my God. Baby May is so sweet and really cares about you. You guys rock.
Yeah,
thank you so much. She does, and I care back for her the same. Let's see. I never had a gal like that. I apologize. I hadn't either. Took me 64 years to find one. That's all. Yep, must say COVID-19 covered and over 35,000. That's the sage advice. That's what's written. So let's see. I'm going to tune out, kids. I know I'm skipping you. I know I am. But we got to get going. I am so glad all of you guys joined me this morning. There was over 500 people on the chat, which is huge. It's a lot to keep up with. And I am really a bad person because I did not answer one comment in 2 weeks. The whole time I was gone on any videos. So those that are watching that made a comment on the video, I didn't even see it, to be honest with you. I didn't even go through them. So I don't want to just heart them, and not mean it. I like to read the comments. But my goal is, and what I'm back in my zone here, if you will. And so future videos, that's going to be the deal. I've learned that if you stay up with the comments and stay on top of them, the first 3 or 4 hours that you launch a video, or I launch a video, it's really pretty easy. You just stay on top of it. And then the next day, spend an hour and stay on top of it, and it's good. And then 2 days later, people stop commenting because they stop watching. So anyway, that being said, here's Greg wants to say hi to you.
Hello, Greg. Thank you for watching.
Oh my God.
Good color.
Good color. That's my new gay color. You like it?
Pink color.
Salmon. It's called salmon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the fun. Yeah, we have a lot of fun. You know what? Neither one of us has had like a knockdown drag out fight with one or the other one. I ripped you a new one a couple times, but you deserved it. All right, so we're going to end on this one. Thanks, Paul and Baby May. You're welcome.
Yeah,
thank you guys.
Dad.
Okay, so Baby May, what do you want to say here to end the show? You started the show. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you. I'm going to make that the thumbnail. You're starting the show.
Yeah, I need more learn.
So did you feel comfortable, or were you scared?
A little.
A little scared.
Yeah, I need
Okay.
more.
Well, I think if on live streams, if you do the same thing, hang out with me for one.
Yeah.
Okay. And chime in when you want to, like happy wife, happy life. That was perfect.
Yeah.
And then maybe do the opening show. Maybe welcome people.
Yeah.
Because the only thing wrong with Baby May is Baby May. Baby May is fine. I've watched her in her last video with Giselle. Yeah. And May was a little kickback, relaxed, and the questions just rolled off her tongue, and everything was normal and natural. And Giselle's really good for English.
Yeah,
anyway.
she's really good.
And you're getting so much better that I just think that you could really do good. So you're going to ask Mia to be on the channel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mia of what's her channel name? She was on my channel once. And then she has a boyfriend named Paul, but they broke up. They got back together. They broke up. He went to America, so nobody knows. But you saw her while I was gone.
Yeah, in Jeep. In the bus.
So the next time you see her, we'll just yell at her, ask her if she wants to come on your channel.
Yeah.
We need to get caught up with her. We haven't seen her in forever.
Yeah.
It's been like 2 months.
Yeah.
So a lot of people we haven't seen. So anyway, kids, we're going to leave you at that. And I apologize up front for not having gotten to your comment. And thank you very much. We will see you next time. Be nice to one another.
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much.
Thank you so much.